I'll tell you this whole story. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a fan of snacking. It's not supposed to get such a big laugh anyway. I'm a big fan of snacking, and I like to, it's a bad habit of mine, I know, but I like to buy snacks really late at night. So I go to the supermarket. It's tough, right? You feel terrible as you're doing it, and I always feel like the person behind the counter is judging me for my poor life decisions. Especially if it's not like a self-checkout, you just have to kind of take it. But I discovered what you can do is, if you're a guy, this might not help you, but you should give it a try, see how it goes. What you do is, you buy all the stuff you're going to buy, the chockies, the ice creams, the whatever, the chips. And then on top of that, you put a bunch of flowers and a box of Tampax. And then you look at the counter person like, hey, and they go from judging you to like, you're a great boyfriend. The only problem is, what happens is, I had this one time where there's a fellow that was sleeping rough who, have you ever walked out of the supermarket and there's someone that asks you for money and you've got 2 full bags of groceries and you try to tell them you don't have any money? This guy tried call my bluff, I guess, and he just started following me. He was going to prove me wrong. I guess he didn't believe that I didn't have any money. And he was going to, you never want someone to know where you actually live, so I'm trying to take turns and stuff like that, not to lead him to my house. And eventually I just caved and I said, look, what is it going to take to get rid of you? And he goes, what you got there? And he's looking in my bag, and then the weird thing about it is he's kind of criticizing my choices, and he's like, oh, you gotta start taking better care of yourself. What is this, ice cream, chips? Is there a box of Tampax in there? And but what happened was, so I've been doing this, I moved to a smaller part of town, and the problem with this trick is if it's the same person each time, they start to recognize you. And I moved to a smaller place that doesn't have self-checkouts, and it's always the same one guy working behind the counter each time. And you do it a few times, and he's like, oh, you're a great guy, you're really a caring boyfriend, and he starts recommending me better brands of tampons and stuff, oh, I got a teenage daughter, try this, that's better. And he starts asking me questions about my girlfriend, and I've done this enough that I feel awkward correcting him, so I just made up a girlfriend. I said, oh, she's really tall, she's got long blonde hair, she's a doctor, she jogs, and I just invented this whole person. And he kind of gave me really good relationship advice, and I guess he was quite invested in this. And then one time, those bricks, they give out the little bricks and stuff, I was claiming a bunch of those at the checkout, and he gave me this look like, have you two got a little one on the way? And I went, yes. That is why I want these toys, because we have a small child on the way. And he looks at me and he goes, I'd recognise that scared look of a first-time father anywhere. And then he starts giving me really solid parenting advice. Things like, you can spend as much money as you want on them in the world, but the one thing you can't buy with money is time. So that's the important thing. Enjoy the time that they're little while you can, because it goes quicker than you think. And he's just giving me this really solid advice. But he also started asking me things like, what school am I going to send them to? And I had no answer for this. So I found myself staying up late at night, researching schools in the area. This one's got a good after school program. This one fits my lifestyle a little better. The drive's a little bit easier to this. So this is going on for many months at a time. And then I made a terrible mistake, because I got a real girlfriend and brought her into the store with me one time, and he saw me from across the street, and he kind of just went, and what happened was, he didn't say anything that time, so solid guy, but the next time I came in, he was like, what the heck is wrong with you? You have a beautiful wife and child. And you're going to hang out with this ugly home wrecker? And I'm trying it's not what it seems like. I'm trying to talk my way out of it, and he's just really ripping into it. It's like my actual girlfriend. And I said, look, I thought, okay, I'll just bite the bullet and come clean. So I said, look, I got to come clean with you. We actually got a divorce a few months ago. unfortunately she got sole custody of the child and they have moved to Gore. And I was hoping that would be the end of it, but he goes, nah, you need to move to Gore. He said, my father left when I was a child, and it took a piece of me with him, you know. I never quite grew up the same. He's getting really deep with me now. He says, it's important for you to be in this child's life. You can't be hanging around with women like that. It'll ruin your life. You gotta focus on what's important. You gotta fight for what's important. You need to sell your house, you need to move to Gore. And so I went, oh yeah, okay, I'll completely come clean with you now. She died. No, no. I said, look, this whole time I've been misleading you. There never was a family. I just felt judged by buying. You know, I came clean. I told him the whole story, and I thought he would be really angry, but he just laughed and he said, "Oh yeah, I know. I played bowls with your granddad. He told me everything." And he said, "Why would you not just come clean with me at the time? Why wouldn't you tell me off the bat?" And all I could really think to say was, "Seemed like a good idea at the time."